Hey everyone, I'm just getting myself ready. Hello, this was a pain. Nice to see you and welcome. Is it Marv? Nice to meet you. Oh, Samuel, excuse me. Nice to meet you too. Give me 1 minute. I'm just getting myself set up here. Let's switch cameras here. Hi. Welcome. I'm going to get my smock ready here, because today we're going to paint. New chatter, yes. This was a pain as my regular attendee, and it seems like every day I'm getting some new people in here, so that's great. So let me give you a little bit of a lay of the land, if you were, what we're doing. So I've got my canvas here. I've already done the drawing on it. I did that last week. I've got the setup of what I'm drawing, what I'm going to be painting in my box here with a light on it. I've got, oh, hold on. Where's my, I've got my paints over here. And if you are unfamiliar with what I'm using here, or if you want some advice on paints to use, I'll run through this list quickly here. So we've got alizarin crimson, Alzarian crimson, I think it's alizarin crimson. This is Windsor red. This is cadmium red medium, cadmium red light. This is yellow, cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow medium, yellow ochre, raw sienna. What kind of green is this? This is viridian green, permanent green light, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, phthalo blue, French ultramarine blue. This is burnt sienna, burnt umber, raw umber, ivory black, titanium white. And I apologize for the noise that's going on. I've got someone working upstairs, and so there's a little bit of noise here and there. So I apologize for that. I think it's going to be ending soon, so no big deal. So that's what we're doing today. So what I'm going to do, actually, and more specifically, so we're going to start blocking this in with some color, okay? I'm going to be using primarily turpentine and oil paints. I'm not going to use any linseed oil. So normally I use linseed oil. When the final painting will be done with linseed oil, I'm actually going to cover that up because I don't need it today. I'm just going to be doing turpentine. So I've got my turpentine jar over here. This is my turpentine jar. It's a little muddy, that's okay. It won't matter too much. But I'm going to use that to thin with. And because I'm using the turpentine, and it's going to be a wash layer, a thin layer, the turpentine will help it dry faster so that I can paint another layer on top of that, okay? So let's just get started and see where we go. I'm going to start with a background, and then I'm going to try to get as much on the rest of this as I possibly can. So here, let me show you what we're painting here. Here's my my setup. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's a little dark on the screen. It's always darker than normal. I don't know why, but anyways, that's what we're going to be painting. And I'll put that up in the corner for you so you can see it. That. Great, and I'll try to keep that up there. I wish that noise would stop. My apologies. I think it's going to stop soon. And before I begin, I also got some new brushes. So I went out and I bought, these are Scepter Gold 2. So I got a bunch of flats and a bunch of rounds. And I've got a bunch of older brushes in here. And I've got, so the Scepters are like, they are a synthetic hair. So they're supposed to mimic sable. So I've got some actual sable brushes in here as well. Sable brushes are very, very expensive, okay? So you can spend, I've spent $100 on a sable brush before. So these will cost you $5 each, maybe $10 at the most. So highly recommend them. They work great still. Anyways, so that's what we're going to be doing. Let's just get started. And let's get to the canvas here. Hopefully you can see it if it's blurry at all. Thanks for your input, Samuel. I appreciate that. And you know, one thing. Let me get some paint going here. One thing I'd love to know is where you're from. I've got my friend here. This was a pain. I'm gonna get one of my new brushes to start with. I'm gonna get my Scepter Gold 2. This is how big is this? 13 millimeter. And I'm just gonna start with some darkness in the back. Start with some black. Where are you from, Samuel? My friend, this was a pain, is from Romania. So I always love hearing where people are from. So I've had friends from Romania, Canada, India, all over the world join me here. And I really enjoy that. I'm going to add a little touch of white in there. It doesn't matter too much with the wash. It's mostly ivory black. Add a little bit of white and a little bit of yellow ochre in that. I find that yellow ochre is a color that I use so often. Sarah, hi Sarah. My name's Jason, by the way. So real quick, hi Sarah, nice to see you. Welcome. We're going to be painting. Hopefully you can see up in the corner here. That's what we're going to be painting. And I'm just mixing some color to get started. I've already got my drawing done on this. All right, that should be good to start with. And I've got my rag here. So it's important to wear a smock. I tend to get a tiny bit of paint on me all the time, and for some reason oil paints have a way of getting everywhere, even if it's just a little bit. So I'm going to dip into my turpentine. So I'm doing turpentine, like I said. This is a wash. I want it really wet. I don't want it to run down the canvas, but I want it to be really, really wet for the most part, because I want that paint to dry. So I'm just going to get some color on there. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I'm just going to get some color on there. It's going to look awful to start with. It's going to look like you're going to see all my brush strokes. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. This is just blocking in, getting some background on there. This is not Bob Ross painting. This is traditional art technique of doing an underpainting, a wash. And that wash is not so much meant to represent the colors that you're going to use. It will a little bit, but it's meant to cover the canvas, really, more than anything. So Sarah and Samuel, Where are you both from? I'm from the United States. I live in the Northeast, a couple hours from New York City, in a state, very small state called Connecticut. I'd love to know where everybody's from. Get a little more paint on there. A lot more paint on there. I need more. More stuff. More turpentine. Oh, I'm going too far down. I've got a line here. That's okay. I forgot that I've got wood down here. That's a different color. I'm going to show you something in just a second. I'm going to show you a tool if you haven't used it before. This is called a maul stick, and this is like the professional maul stick. You know, you don't have to have like a professional one. I'm actually going to move that down so my painting doesn't move on me by accident. But a maul stick is just something that you can lean your hand on when you don't want to put your hand on the wet painting. So I'm going to use it around the edges here. So hopefully I'm not blocking you. I'm going to use it in areas that I want to get a little more exact on. I'll make sure I'm not dripping first before I go too far with that. Because it's an underpainting, it's okay to mess up. Washes, oh, I want to get over here too. Washes are easily fixed. You can get nice straight lines when you use your maul stick. All right. It's okay. No worries about remembering names. We just know we're going to have fun, right? Now, when I was a kid, I used to watch people painting all the time. I don't do it so much anymore. I mean, partly because I'm the one painting now, I guess. But do you guys watch people paint often? I know this was a pain. Is here on my channel quite often, which is great. I used to love a couple of painting shows when I was growing up. This is how I really started, was watching these two guys paint. My head is in the way. I'll try to I'll try not to do that too much. Get my head out of the way. I got a big head. I was about to ask, who's Sarah? That's funny. You're Sarah. It's okay if the color's different here and there, darker, lighter. Doesn't matter. You're going to paint all over this all over again anyways. Keep it thin. Keep it thin. All right. Silence. Can you hear me? Yeah, it is pretty quiet. Now, Sarah, you gotta tell me, where are you from? What country are you calling in from? United States? Somewhere else? All right. I tend to chatter quite a bit. I can't really look down at my screen all the time. So please understand, I will look and answer any questions, or just chatter or whatever. I've had music playing in the background, but sometimes I think that that the music doesn't work too well. I think everybody left, except for, I'm assuming This Was a Pain is still here. That's the way it goes, right? Everybody leaves eventually. That's okay. Eesh. The mall stick moved. Nice and straight. Some more of that. Yeah, everybody left. Just me and you, as usual. Well, I got 4 watching though right now. Oh, Samuel's back. Glad to see you again. All right, so I keep missing this line here. Where is it? Right here. That's fine. All right. I'll cover that up after. So that line goes straight across. I messed up over there. That's supposed to be the table. I'll get that part in just a second. All right, I'm going to ask again. Samuel, where are you from? Or are you keeping that a secret? It's okay if you are. You just say, you know, personal. Don't want to say. I get it. All right, that's a good start right there. Now I'm going to switch some colors. Let's see. So I need to get a base color for that. What do you call it? For that tabletop there. Just cleaning off my brush a little bit. Don't have to clean it off too much because all I'm using is turpentine. All right. So that tabletop, if I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's somewhere between raw sienna. All right, and so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get some color on my palette knife or my brush, and I'll just kind of hold it up to what I'm painting and see where I'm at. Right, so certainly some white in there. Add some white. And I think some burnt sienna too. Raw sienna, burnt sienna. Both of them in there. I might have gone a little too dark there though. Yeah, too dark. and it's too orangey. So I'm going to go with some, I'm torn between burnt umber and raw umber. I'm going to try burnt umber. See how that looks first. And some more white. Doesn't need to be perfect. This is the wash painting. It doesn't matter that much. But I like it to be close. Alright, let's check that out now. That's getting pretty close. I might just use that. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll use that. For a second, get a little bit of turpentine on my brush, get that good and wet, and let's get some of this in there. Yeah, just a little bit orange. That's okay. This to me is a little bit more about speed than accuracy. Just get it on there so that I can move forward. If I could get this this wash layer done today, I can move on tomorrow. I don't know if I'll get it done today. You know, trying to be accurate and being faster, not the exact same thing, right? So I've got a holiday coming up this Thursday and Friday. So I will probably not be online during that time. It's Thanksgiving here in the United States. I'll have some family come over and celebrate with me and my family. We'll eat too much and fall asleep on the couch most likely. You remember that mistake? Now it's gone. The wonderful thing about oil paints, very forgiving. And if anybody else pops online, please say hi. I'm already really happy that a couple newbies showed up. Thank you. I will enjoy the holiday. It's nice to get some time off from work, and if I can, maybe I'll pop in to paint a little bit. I don't like to let things go too much, but I do have some things going on this weekend that will take some of my time. So if you remember, last week I was praising this company, Nearstream. That's who makes the cameras that I'm using. And they came through. And they sent me, and I'm using them right now, 3 brand new cameras. So now I have 6 cameras because they don't want the old ones back, they said. They just sent me 3 new ones. I thought that was pretty incredible of them. All right, just kind of go back and forth here because that's the grain, and I want to, that's all. All right, so far so good. But now it gets a little more tricky, right? Let's take that off. So probably put this particular brush away, but I see a spot that it didn't quite get with the black. All right, see you later, Sarah. I'm very happy that you joined. I hope you have a great day. And please come back and say hi, okay? I'm on and off all the time, so subscribe, and I'd love to see you here again. Thanks for joining. But I'm going to keep painting. You go do what you got to do. All right, there was a spot here. I'm probably right in the way of it. I think I'm going to have to move that camera tomorrow. All right, take that off now. So how much fun was that? We got two new friends today. All right, I'm just going to put this. I'll put this down for you here now. Actually, I'm going to put it over here. I like to put them someplace that I remember to wash them afterwards. All right, so now I'm going to get into this here, and there's a lot going on with that thing, right? So there's all kinds of colors in there. I'm not trying to get everything. I'm just trying to block in some color here and there to start expressing it a little bit. And so really the bigger areas are what I'm going to hit. Excuse me. Can I make that a little brighter? Let's try to make that a little brighter. I guess I'm not. I guess I can't. That's okay. All right, moving on. So, some of this is a lot of like the background color. Some of it's darker than the background color. All right, I'm just trying to plan out a couple different colors that I'm going to mix up here. Put my mole stick down. Whoops, I put it down too far. That's okay. So, chrome and silver, and you're not painting a color. You're painting the color, the reflections in that thing. So I'm painting the background. I'm painting the I'm painting me in there in some cases, All right, I am going to use some straight black in some of it. I'm going to add a little bit of white in some of it. So I want to have a bunch of like variations of different colors that I see in there. And again, I like to, when I'm not uncertain about a color, what I'll do is I'll make a little hole with my fist like that. I'll look through it and I'll isolate that color that I'm looking at so that I can see what is it that I'm really looking at there. It's not a whole lot. It's mostly black and gray and white. So I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Let's go with that. what brush am I going to use? I'm going to use, let's see, I got this brush here, isn't bad. I have a smaller one. No, I do. There's one. That's the one. So I'm going to use, this is a 3mm flat this time. All right, and I'm going to start with the, it's tricky. I'm going to start with this, I think. And I got to pick up my maul stick that fell. That's fine. All right, so. All right, so what I think is going on, depending on where you look at it, is it gets pretty dark at the edge for the most part. Which is going to make, since this is a wash, it's going to make it a little interesting.
Jason?
Yep.
I am leaving.
Thank you so much, Magda.
You're welcome. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's my helper that was here. She's going now, so it will be nice and quiet now. What time is it anyways? Oh, I'm going to have to go soon. See, I'm all ready to get into this, and time flies when you're having fun, right? Let's see here. Keep having to you know, like I'm leaning forward. This should really come back a little bit so I don't have to move. So I keep backing up and moving forward. It's not really the best thing to do, but that's okay. Figure it out. All right, I want a little bit here. Wait, yeah. Mistakes are okay, especially at this point. We'll see how detailed I get with this. I may find at some point that I'm like, yeah, I just want it to be done, but I always want to do a really good job, so that's fine. All right. On the other side too. Excuse me. That's what happens when you go online after you have lunch, right? I'm not even being that perfect with it. You know, I'm trying to see as much as I can, as quickly as I can. At this point, it's more quick than correct. Yeah. But I think you can already see it's got some qualities of reflection in it. All right, I don't want to stop now, but I kind of have to. So we're going to call it a day at that. Keep dropping that mole stick. That's okay. I'll pick it up after. All right, so we got somewhere. I'm happy to have put some paint on the canvas. It's not quite as much paint as I wanted to, but you know, work's been super busy over the last couple of weeks. So hopefully things will improve as time goes on. So let me give you one more snippet. So that's where we are right now. We're going to keep working. It's probably going to take me at least one more sitting, if not two more sittings, to complete the wash, but that's okay. It's one of those things you just keep plugging away at it. You know, I've only been sitting here probably less than an hour today, so filling up most of the canvas that's a good day, right? Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I hope that you enjoyed today's session, lesson, whatever, class. And I'm going to say goodbye now. I hope you have a great day. Happy drawing, happy painting, and as always, so happy to have you join me today. Have a great day. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Bye.